Okay, it's Viking time. Let's get this Viking set up. So let's go into our prefabs folder. Let's see right here. And take the Viking, drop him into the scene. I'm going to get rid of this wizard. We don't need him anymore. Now, under our Viking, remember we have just a cube. I'm going to hit the scene view so we can see it right here. But we got a Viking with a cube. Kind of a boring Viking. Now, we do have a Viking model, so hopefully you already downloaded that. If you haven't, go back and grab it. And we're going to pull this in. Now, I think when I talked about it last time, I talked about using the rigged with weapons. But I think I'm actually going to use the animated sword one. So what I'm going to do is take this and drop it to be a child of the Viking. Make sure it's all zeroed out. Should be 0 on everything. And then we'll delete this boring old cube. Now, our Viking is a little bit different. He's got his own animations included, and I want to use those animations. So how are we going to hook all that up? Well, we need an animation controller, but first we actually need to set up the animations. So let's look at Viking Sword, and you see he's got one animation called Take 001. If I hit play, see he's actually got a whole bunch of different things that are playing in this animation. As it goes through, every different thing that he can possibly do plays. Now, these aren't split up into animations in Unity, though. But there is this text file right here, Eric Animation List. So I'm going to open that up. And if we take a look right here, you'll see that it's saying frames 2 through 18 are his walk, 21 through 35 are his run, 37 through 60 is his idle, and so on, all the way down the list. So what can we do with this information? Well, quite simply, we can just put these numbers in and create the same animation. So I'm going to pull this off to the side real quick. And then we're going to select the Viking animated sword. And right here where it says take 01, this is our first animation. I'm going to rename this to walk. And then I'm going to set the frame numbers to 2 and 18, start and end. And then check loop time. Now if I hit play, you should see him just kind of looping in a walk. It's exactly what I expect to see. Now I hit plus to add another animation. The next one on the list is run, and it's 21 through 35. Again, you can just pull this up in that text file. I'm just reading the numbers off another screen right here. It's 21 through 35 for run. So just paste that in. Again, check loop time. If I hit play, I should see him running, and it looks good. Now let's add another one. We need, what's next? Idle. Idle is going to be 37 to 60. And, oh, that should also loop. Let's play it real quick. Looks good. Add another one. This one is, what? Chop. And this one goes from 62 to 87. I don't want this one to loop, though. This is not a looping animation. It's going to play looping because I'm in the little play tester here. But I don't want it to loop when we actually play it. I mean, in-game. Okay, so that looks good. And I wonder if I should try any others. Maybe a... Let's add in the double chop. I want to see what that one looks like. Double chop. Now that one is starting at 316 to 346. And let's play that. Ooh, that's only for two weapons. So it's not going to really look right for this guy since I've only got one sword in his hand. So I'm just going to delete that one for now. I think that's good though. I've got a couple attacks, or I've got an attack, an idle, a walk, and a run. If you want, you're welcome to, of course, go through and import in all the different animations there. Just put in the numbers and find the attack that you want to use. If you don't want to use that one, it looks like, I'm just looking at the list over here. There's an uppercut, a stab, a knockdown. That's probably not what we want, though. Yeah, it looks like mainly a spin attack, an uppercut, and a stab are other attack options. So go ahead and put in whatever attack animation you want, get them all imported. And then what we're going to do is go back to our animations folder. And I'm going to right click here and we're going to create, and we're not going to create a new controller, we're going to create an override controller. And we're going to name it Viking. Now an override controller takes an animation controller, or an animator controller. So we're just going to put the player character in there. And then when we do, you'll see that now we have a replacement field for each of the animations. So I can just drop in my new animations for this character. Let's see, right here under models. And remember, under this animated sword character, when it is expanded, we can see the animations. So I'll take the idle, drop it into the idle field. Take the run, drop it into the running, walk and walk, and then this is actually going to be our attack. That's the attack on the base one right now. So we'll just put chop in there. Now, the way this will work is it's just going to do everything that our normal animator controller would do. We don't have to duplicate any of that functionality. It's just going to play different animations for this character. So now if I apply my prefab, just hit apply, and I'll save my scene, uncheck the Viking, and hit play, I should be able to come in as a Viking and run around. Let's give it a try. So hit A, hit A, hit A, and there we go. I've got a Viking. I can run, but he's not animating. Why is he not animating? Well, let's take a quick look. If we go right here to our Viking and expand him out, oh, look, we never set the animator controller. So again, just like not setting up scripts or not attaching scripts, it's very easy to forget to just attach a controller or any other thing that you work on. So it's always the first place you want to check, and also why I like to test frequently, because if I've gone through, half an hour of adding things, it may take me a while to realize that, oh, I had forgotten to add in the controller. This is the thing. It wasn't some code change. So here I'll go to animations, and I can just attach the override controller right there. Apply my prefab again. Turn off this Viking again, and hit play. Now let's see. A, and I've got a character running around. Look at that. I can run. Can I attack? Yep. I can swing and attack. Now his attack animation is also sped up because I'm using the that 2x multiplier. And you may notice something else weird there. If you're looking at his character, it's a little bit strange. There's something odd going on. So let's take a quick look. If we zoom down in the scene view, see if we can see it. You can see kind of that weirdness going on there. There's something wrong. He definitely shouldn't look like this. His pieces shouldn't be going into each other. So what's going on there? Let's take a look. Let's select the renderer, which is right here. So we've got this part, and then we've got that part, and they both have renderers on them, and they're both referencing this Viking material. And the Viking material is actually part of this mesh. And if we look at the material here, we can't change it, and the render mode is set to transparent, which is definitely wrong. So we don't want transparency for our entire character. In fact, there's a tiny little portion of the character where we'd want some transparency, and that's on his beard. You can kind of see that working, but the rest of his body shouldn't be using that. So let's fix it. Let's go into our model folder for the Viking. Let's see, we've got models, and we've got textures. And what we want to do is just create a new material. So I'm just going to go into the Viking folder, and I'll create a material, and I'll just name it Viking. And then I'm going to enable my Viking in the scene, go to this guy, and then let's just drop this Viking material right on there. So there we go. It's on his body, the part that definitely shouldn't be transparent. Well, his sword also shouldn't be transparent. But let's do the body first. So right now it's solid white. Not right, but we can fix that. So I'm going to select the Viking material that I just created, and then right here we'll click to search for a texture, and just put in the word V-I-K. And there are two options here. There's a TGA and a PSD. We want the TGA. The PSD is just the Photoshop version of it. So there we go. Now we've fixed part of the issue. Right? He's no longer got that weird clipping stuff going on. But you also notice that his hair looks a little bit weird. Like we can see the transparency there. So let's duplicate this Viking and or this Viking material, and name one the Viking transparent. Transparent. There we go. Spell it right. And I'm gonna assign this to the hair. Right there. So if I just drop it right onto where the hair is. See, now it's actually a little bit worse. But that's okay. It's just because right now it's set on opaque. And if we go to transparent, see, it's back to how it was. But what this should really be set to is cutout. Because if we really want it not some level of transparency, we want it to cut out as soon as there's any alpha, really. So that way it's transparent on the edges. There's no partial transparency. It's either there or not there. And I think we're good there. But let's check out the sword, too. I think the sword is also... Oh, Let's see, the sword is using Viking weapons. Oh, okay, that one's on opaque. We're fine. We don't actually need to adjust that. As long as it's not transparent, I'm not worried about it. So let's apply this prefab again and turn the character off in the menu. And I want to make sure you have the directional light off in your menu too, and save the scene. That way we don't get double lighting in there and the character's not all washed out. Here we go. Let's jump in. Joined, playing, and I can run around and attack. Look at that. We are good to go. We've got a Viking and a wizard now ready to go start killing some things. So go ahead and get your Viking set up. Again, if you want to change the animations, go with different animations, feel free. Same with the wizard. If you want to go back in and swap out some animations, have at it now. Do it while we're already in this part and have fun with it. Otherwise, just when you're ready, jump over to the next video and we'll keep going.